Hey guys, welcome to Big Sister. So today we're going to talk about power trips. First of all, though, I want to say thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. For those of you who are subscribed, those of you who are not sure, take a look around, see what my channel offers, and consider subscribing. If you are a subscriber, hit the notification bell. That way you will get updates, you'll get notified of when I've actually uploaded something. And then guys, like, share, and subscribe. So I truly appreciate those of you who have been here with me, those of you who comment, who have reached out. I appreciate you guys very much. And I wanted to talk with you guys about power trips. Why do you think some people are on a power trip? And what does that mean? Well, for me, in a simple term, is someone who is in a position of authority, whether it's on a permanent basis, a temporary basis, or for a day. And these individuals, they like to exert their authority over other people, okay? People who are on a power trip are normally imbalanced in some way. They're normally lacking in some way. They may have low self-esteem, or they may be entitled people. They may think very highly of themselves, but in a way that's not very healthy. So people on a power trip normally feel like they don't have to answer anyone. They don't have to be accountable to anyone. They think being in charge means that they have all the power. They make all the decisions. They call all the shots. But at the same time, they don't feel that they necessarily need to answer to those who are below them, or maybe get back to them in a timely manner. And people like this sometimes, especially those who's been rejected or just been hard done by from parents or whoever, this really makes them feel good to be able to deny people things or keep people waiting. So power trips can be exhibited in many ways, but one of the ways I'm going to talk to you about are individuals that like to just keep you waiting. They don't like to get back to you. You ask a question, or you may send an email to your supervisor or your floor manager, or you need to take vacation, you want to take some leave, you need time off, and you've gone to them, you've asked them, and maybe you go to them and you ask them and they tell you need to put in an official request, and they don't get back to you. But maybe you just sent them a notice, right? And you're letting them know. You may see that they've read it, but they don't answer you. Or you're trying to find out about it as a decision on a matter. You need an answer for something so that you can go to the next step. There's something, for example, how do I put this? For example, you're asking to see if you can have a Friday off at work. Let's just give an example like that. Well, there are other things you need to plan. Let's say you're going out of town, or you need to let your family know if you're going to be able to make it, so that they now can make other arrangements for you to be there, whether it's like booking a hotel or something. You're trying to get this information. Now we have to be fair, right? If you put in this request that morning, you may have to wait a little bit, okay? Or the day before, you may need to wait just a tiny bit. But most times, guys, if you're putting your things in, like, you would have your stuff in on a Monday, right? And you're asking for this time, or even the week before, you may have this individual that does not get back to you. And so because they haven't replied, they have not told you anything, you are now stuck. You're not able to book, you're not able to make certain plans. You don't know what you're doing. I mean, I guess you could book a hotel, but it may be something else, just something where perhaps someone needs you to maybe to drive with them somewhere. Obviously, you can't wait till the day of. You're going to be a driver. They need someone to go with them to a doctor's appointment or something like that. And they need an escort. And you're asking your supervisor or whoever for that time off. And they just ignore it. They ignore you, they ignore your follow-ups, all of that. This is a form of a power trip. You may have a family member, or you may have somebody of whatever that affiliation may be, and you're asking them for help. You may have texted them, whatever the situation is, or you talk to them and say, I'll let you know, but they never respond back to you. Or they prefer text because maybe they don't take calls, they don't answer the phones. This is the new thing. And you're needing their help and they won't answer you. Let's say it's something like, hey, can you escort me here? I need a chaperone. Or can you help me to do this? Or can you go with me here? Or I need you to, can you return this item because I need it for here, for this situation. They don't answer you, they don't say anything, and they just keep you waiting. What is that about with people? Some people may say they're busy, but guys, with technology, there's no excuse. That might have been able to fly back in the 80s or the 70s or something like that, where people are so busy, and even then they found a way to get back to individuals in a timely manner. But that's the purpose of technology. That's why you have reminders. That's why they have text messages, because it just takes a second to text someone back or to email someone back to say, hey, I got your message, I'll get back to you. So now with technology, it's no excuse. It's no excuse. You know how sometimes you're in a relationship and the person tell you they were so busy, they couldn't call you, they couldn't text you, you needed some information, or you asked them a question or something. Oh, I got so busy. But before, when you first started dating, they were texting you, it would just text overload. But now they're too busy. They were in a meeting. Oh, I just couldn't move my fingers over this surface real quick, right? So, what is that about? Well, in my opinion, guys, in many cases, it's a power trip. There are people who just enjoy keeping you waiting. Bad habit. There are some people also, let's take power trip off the table. Some people just have a bad habit. They have no sense of time other than their own. You can say an event start at 6 and they're going to get there at 7:30. You can say you need something picked up at 12 and they're not going to show up till 1. They are just they're always late, they're not punctual, and they don't care about your time. They're going to get there when they're going to get there. And especially if it's them doing you a favor, they're going to show up when they feel like it, regardless of if it's going to cause any delays or spoil an event. Then you have other people who are on a power trip. They like to know that somebody is waiting on them to make a decision, and they drag it out and drag it out. They enjoy this. I want you to know that in either scenario, let's put it like this. Let's talk about the latter of individuals that know you need information, know there are things pending, and they don't get back to you, and they do it on purpose. These people are passive aggressive. And I guarantee you that if you peel back the layers, you'll find somewhere in their life there was someone who treated them that way, or they learned to be this way to get control. Somewhere in their life, they didn't have control. There's someone who either bullied, abused, neglected, rejected them. And what they learned to do is to withhold things. They probably did it in little ways. They first started things by maybe hiding the glasses of somebody they didn't like, or scratching the surface of something, or cutting the very edge of a nice dress of someone that they hate. Standing there and keying your car, putting a little bit of lipstick on the side of the interior of your car. This is how these individuals are. They would have been doing little sneaky things from they were small. Okay, so they'll see maybe a painting that one of their siblings or someone did, or another student, and they will be the one that will rip it off the wall when no one is looking and throw it away. And so now they get older And they're still that way. They work hard to be in positions of authority, but it's so that they can become, like a Skeletor. Now they get to be bad. They're just, they're just terrible people, but they look professional, or they may look normal. But now someone has a need because something in them is just not right. They look at that as an opportunity to exert power, because in any other way in their life, they're powerless. Perhaps they're powerless in their marriage. Maybe they're powerless in their family. Maybe they're the one that people in their family think, why did I have you again? Maybe they're powerless in terms of how they feel in society. Not married. Maybe they feel like they should have been married, maybe divorced, whatever the case is. And when they feel this powerless, this feeling of being powerless in one aspect, if for 1 second that they have the ability to make a decision because they're not balanced, they're going to really make this into something, which is to deny you. They want you to keep asking them, and they're going to look at your request and ignore it, and look at your pensive expressions at work or at the house. They know you're waiting, and they know that you need the information, but they're not going to give it to you. And when you ask them, they're going to act like you're just bothering them, and they have so much going on because they're on a power trip. But people who normally are on a power trip, there's normally something else. They've got a past. Then you have individuals, they're simply spoiled brats. They just always had their own way. There's no one neglected them, no one denied them. They just like to make people wait, and they like to make people, they like causing people to just be anxious all the way to the very end. These are individuals that will take forever to give people their pay. Now, these days, everything should be done through, EFT, electronic funds transfer, electronic funds transfer, which means the money goes directly in. But there's still some people who waits for a check, and you have that supervisor that will make you wait. You got off at 3 o'clock, and as usual, supervisor hasn't cut your check, hasn't gotten your envelope. Oh, he or she is so busy. So you got off at 3, and you're still sitting around at 3:45 waiting to get your check. And you may have a ride or a bus you have to catch, but it's a power trip. These people are unhappy. But anyone who has to grasp at straws like this just so they can exert their authority should really examine themselves and really come to and really begin to figure out who brought this onto them. What was this event? What was the significant emotional event that made you be this way? Because a lot of times they don't think about it. What will be the purpose of not getting back with another adult? They're not children. An adult doesn't have to sit and wait to the last minute. They tend to not understand that other people are adults because they think only of themselves. They're thinking only of them, and knowing good and well they wouldn't want that. So they treat other people as if they are less than. They minimize other people. They minimize other people's lives and their urgencies and things that they have going on. And you're just going to sit. And when I tell you that what is going to be, and they know that they may already have the answer. Maybe they have already even signed off on the leave. Or they know that they are or are not going to be able to help you. But they will wait until the last minute to hand that employee the check. Let that employee know if they're approved or not. Let the family member know if they can help them. Let their friend know if they can help them. They will wait till the last minute. And if you get an attitude, they're going, well, you should have planned ahead because I didn't say. Because they enjoy frustrating and having the power and deflecting. These are unhealthy individuals. So that's why a lot of people do. They don't think about it. But somebody peed in their Cheerios years ago. Someone did something, or they grew up in that type of household where that's how their families treated them, and they think it's normal. They think it's normal to let people wait and to let people suffer and to let people pine and to let people have anxiety, but it's not. And so that's something to really look at, examine, and change. It's not hard. And if you're a manager and if you're in a supervisor position, it doesn't matter. Oh, I have 30 employees. You should have something set up that you can get back to people. There are ways that you can set up your computer and all of that you get reminders. Hey, this email went out 2 days ago. Should I follow up? They'll flag your messages. Because if you can't do that, then you can't supervise. If you can't multitask. And if you're a family member or a friend who does this, really? Something happened to you and you have to face that thing and stop doing that because it's not right. If someone asks for help and you have to exacerbate that moment so much for them to beg and to need you, something is truly wrong if you have to make other people suffer for you to feel good about yourself. And never forget that you reap what you sow. What you do to other people is going to come back to you some way. And those of you who may be in that way, sometimes, guys, that's the only person that you can utilize at the moment. And if that's what it is, just do the best you can with what you have. But always be in a position, always be in a mindset of being able to get yourself out of that, to better yourself, to expand your circle, to put yourself in a position where you don't have to be dependent and or you have a backup plan. All right, guys, thanks for listening.